Ahoy, mateys!
We have returned after a failure.
Yeah, you should.
Which you may or may not see. It was really good footage up until Edward died.
Okay.
Which I know we went with Meg. We allowed Meg, but well, that was Meg. We lost Edward in this one.
Meg was getting. We obtained her from a side quest. Not really.
And there was almost no way she'd have survived much longer, anyways. Even if we, went back, like she'd be the one that dies every single time. If we were gonna, it essentially just more depends on whether we like the character. Like if we lose Leonardo, then we're going back like 3 stages to level him up to a point where he can't die.
We can't really go back in stages though.
We'll find a way.
We will hack the game's data and force it to.
I'm kidding. We wouldn't go that far, but we would definitely restart for a loss of Leonardo.
Yeah.
Steel bow. We have a steel bow.
I'm gonna kill him. Oh well.
Why is he more powerful? I guess we have more HP and more hit chance, but still. He had a crit chance.
I wouldn't suggest taking that risk, actually.
We know we can get, from our fail, we know we can get Sowed up there in one turn.
Yep. So we'll get Volug over here.
Rawr!
So we'll get him, or we'll get Leonardo some...
Volug actually reminds me a bit of my dog.
With a tail, or with a bigger tail.
Yeah, except my dog's tail is mostly fur, so... A bigger tail. Kind of reminds me of my dog. Different coloration a little bit, but a giant... But essentially, if you see a giant black furry mass running straight forward for you when you enter my home, it's my dog.
Or presumably a giant fluff ball, which also might be your dog's clone.
Yeah, my dog sheds a lot.
Yes, that's mine.
But yeah.
Oh, dogs. They're worse than cats, but they're still fun.
Fight me.
Civil War.
Fight me, pants.
Dogs, cats, Civil War.
For the record, we're not going to be at any packs anytime soon.
No, not going to be any packs.
Well, at least it's unlikely.
Very unlikely. Alright, let's kill some bow users.
Yeah. But, Civil War.
Wow.
Like, I understand.
Now I'm
like
tempted
cats,
not to put,
but I really like dogs.
I don't think I'm going to send Sylvan to...
Like, here's the thing. Cats. There are 3 kinds of cats. They're the ones that actually plan your murder every day that they live with you. Even if they never do it. There are the nice ones. And then there are the ones that also plan your murder...
quietly.
And manage to actually hire a hitman.
Oh, I remember having a cat like that.
Like, seriously, cats are a gamble if you get a cat. Like, they're a gamble whether it's gonna hate or love you.
I'm sorry, is there gonna be a problem that I skipped that?
I don't
If
think
they
so.
watch the outtakes, they know what's happening.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as far as
I'm just rushing through this
Like,
level.
we've rushed through it so many times before. We spent a half hour and wasted it because Edward died.
Yep. You should have seen his face when...
I dropped the controller.
He dropped the computer, he dropped the computer.
Ow!
He shot Volug of everything. Okay, you know what? Know what I'm doing now.
Oh yeah, these guys we need to get to help.
I'm sending Z-Hark to go help him. Z-Hark's
Which is
gonna
what
get a
we
lot
did
of
last
experience.
time.
Z-Hark's gonna get a lot of experience from this.
Hey look, they're making a foot.
Oh really? I think it looks more
A
like
stick
Iowa.
man's foot.
I think it looks more like Iowa.
Or a music note.
Ooh.
Why are we debating what shape they're making?
Cat.
Good argument. Can't argue with that logic.
The little meow stick.
Oh, come on.
I think Esper is actually scarier. Big bulging eyes staring into your soul.
I see why some people could find it, cute, but at the same time it freaks me out.
I don't find it cute.
Especially the character, like the descriptions of it itself. It's creepy.
It killed
Or am I thinking of Goth the Rita or something? The one that sees its master's demise. I don't know.
That's like every psychic-based Pokemon.
It is, isn't it?
Gardevoir.
Okay, Gardevoir is not the case.
I don't feel like hugging a Gardevoir would be very fun.
I don't think so either.
That's just me.
I remember randomly coming across a thing. Like, I wasn't even looking for anything, but it was a small comic of... It was like a Gardevoir explaining what the spike in its chest is, and then the guy that was just staying next to it pokes it, and in the next screen there's a little Purlia that says, That's like, and the guy had been slapped, clearly, and then there was a little curly there saying that was like poking her in the boob.
Yeah, it reminds
kind
me
of the case, yes. Also kind of random and funny.
Mm-hmm. I remember watching, you can judge me all you like. There was an anime I watched called To Love Ru, because it was made by the same person who made one of my favorite animes, Black Cat. But To Love Ru took a completely different turn than Black Cat. Let me put it this way, there was a character in it named, or there's 3 characters in it named Momo, Lala, Momo, Lala, and the last chick that no one loves at all.
Well, it sounds like somebody needs a hug.
I do. It's me. But like, so those characters, they're aliens, right?
That guy's dead.
He's going to die anyways. He died last
He
time.
can at least, you know...
He's not dead.
He's not dead yet.
He lived? Question mark?
He lived? Question mark?
How? Okay, how did he live?
Pain.
Not really.
More pain.
And gonna kill
more
him.
pain.
So he's using the knife, so it's not as powerful.
From that range. Which is why they're all targeting him, of course.
Because he can... Say of course again.
Of course.
There you go. But like the anime To Love Ru, there's like one of the main characters, or the 3 main characters that I just named off. Their tails, they have tails, like little devil tails. They are extremely sensitive, and it brings in some really funny moments.
What?
Not really funny, but they exist.
At least they are healing these guys because they are injured.
Are we gonna be able to save all the people, or all of them?
Depends on how much work this guy puts in.
Not enough.
Why did he move that way? I guess he's letting that guy make sure that he can get...
That's because they can't quite move through yet, so they're trying to figure out a way to move through.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really need to, you know, keep them all alive, but it would still, you know, be okay.
Preferred?
Like, prefer? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter since they'll just end up sitting on the sidelines anyways once they're safe.
They don't do anything. I mean, even after this level, they don't do anything. It's not like they reward you with anything.
I kind of wish... That's one thing I kind of wish about Fire Emblem.
They
like,
do
I
that
understand why they
sometimes.
don't. I understand why they don't, but I kind of wish that they had, like, extra units that were just, like, unnamed randoms.
Oh, Fire Emblem Fates brought in that.
Really?
Yeah.
For your side?
Yeah. For any of the sides. You can capture opponents and, like, torture them in your prison until they join your team.
Really?
I mean, that's exaggerated. But, yes, you can get them into your, if you have
just
parry.
random, unnamed...
Yeah, you could, if certain characters can capture, and then, like, you can bring them into your prison and communicate with them.
Like, the only reason why I think that wouldn't work out is because it would make it so that you can just sacrifice them instead.
Mm-hmm.
But...
That's the point, because they're generic, so they're meant to be weaker than really everybody else. They're not a main character who starts off with stats a little bit higher than what they should be.
I just want to point one thing out. Oh, yes, he finally gets to do something. He didn't get a chance to fire this thing when we... last time. But I just want to point something out. Go to the top right. Like, where these guys are. That guy is almost completely surrounded, and yet he's probably going to kill one of them.
He's probably not going to die this turn. I bet you anything.
I just want to point out how... I feel like just having other people, like, around you, like, should automatically... Like, I feel like for every enemy you have on a side of you should cause your stats to go down slightly.
I think for every opponent you have around you. Okay.
I feel like that should just be the case, because, like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
There are certain units that I look in this game, it's like, oh, I know they're strong, and then there are some... I've never liked a Wyvern Rider. They could be really good, but I've never been able... Oh. Oh, poor guy. Poor lady. Pretty much. I'm really excited for the Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem crossover. It'll be like the only good RPG we're gonna get on the Wii U.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Because I got Xenoblade X, and it's more like watching a movie. And then I got lost in the main city.
You know, it's kind of impressive in a game when you can actually do that. Like, get lost in their main city. Like, that's actually kind of... Like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm impressed whenever I get lost in a game, literally.
No, like, sincerely, I was sitting there in the game, like, where do I go now? And I'm using, like, teleports on the map to figure out where I am. And I couldn't! Because they're like, go to the main tower. Okay, I see the main tower. I'm at the main tower. Find out I'm actually on the wrong side of the entire city.
It's amazing.
I should show you that game. It's like,
yeah,
it's
I'd love to give it a try.
It's interestingly good. And the Monado, like, everybody knows the Monado because of Shulk and Smash Bros, which brought in Xenoblade actually being a thing. But the Monado has been demoted to being a hairpin in a 13-year-old girl's hair. You know you did good
Alright then. Alright, I'll allow it. I mean, I don't really have arguments. By the way, you should move Toronto to waste their ballista up there.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to be a few turns before we can really get anybody up that far anyways. Especially when we want them to, you know, live.
I'm going to have Z-Heart come in and start, like, kind of clearing out from the back. And then...
Yeah.
Have him flee.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so... Yeah, the Wii U, like, I just want to say this. I told you so. I told you so when I said it's not going to be released here in 2016. Like,
the NX is getting released.
Like I said, maybe spring of 2017, and I was right. I was right. Like
March of 2017.
It's just okay. I get it. The Wii U was not a success, but most of the problem with it is people didn't want to try it.
Yeah,
like it didn't have the games that always sold the system, like the Super Mario 64 pseudo sequel. Like, that sort of thing. Every console before it has had that since Super Mario 64 came out. And that...
Yeah. Super Mario Galaxy, generally.
Yeah, like, a Mario Galaxy 3, we didn't get that. Like, that would have honestly boosted sales stupidly. Probably.
Yeah, Mario
Galaxy. And then
Galaxy
we didn't get, what? And then we...
We didn't get Smash Bros. Till late in its life, and that's what sold the console for the most part.
Yeah, that and Splatoon somehow.
Splatoon wasn't that
probably
great.
Get him out of there, considering how weak he is. Like, does he have a Vulnerary on him? Oh, he does. That guy, I mean, he was just getting weak.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of the... Like, there was a ton of good games. It's just, like, what killed it early is because people weren't willing to give its new control style a try. Like,
I thought it had a great idea. It just wasn't executed correctly.
Great idea. No, it was. That's the sad thing. It had a great idea with the whole touchscreen thing. It's just at the same time...
But they didn't have the games to be able to sell it.
Yeah, it didn't have the games to back it up. And on top of that, people were, like, done with that. They just wanted to make a legit console, which it was. It's just no one thinks of it that way. Like, that's what I don't understand about gamers. We call ourselves gamers and we, like, flood over VR and stuff, but every time Nintendo has a good idea, it's like... Why aren't you just making why aren't you making the same games? Like...
In a world without M's. What are you doing? Playing video games. Why are you laughing at that? That's terrible.
It was slightly funny.
No, like...
But, like, no one gave it a fair shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna say that. People didn't give it a fair shot.
Splatoon was okay, but I don't like how it was, like, primarily set for online gameplay.
That's why I don't like the other consoles. Like, that's part of the reason it sold so well, because for some weird reason, that's what gamers want. They want it like that. Like, I personally don't like that. I
know what gamers
I don't have
want.
a good...
I know what gamers need.
I seriously just don't have a good internet connection to back up anything, really.
And Xenoblade X is also kind of online-based. It's weird.
Yeah, that's, like, they're currently testing the waters, and what I don't and, like, that's just what I kind of don't like about the other consoles. Yeah, I noticed.
Why? Why, Z-Hark? Why?
I noticed, but that's what I don't like about the other consoles, because not everyone has the internet connection to back it up, and it's rare, and, like, I can't just get it.
I'm sorry, twice in a row, with 14%. I mean...
At least it wasn't 0, and he still... I mean, really, that was... Like, we're waiting for the day it's like 0.5, and they still do it.
Well, that would just be rounded up to 1, so it'd have to be like 0.49. And you still get a critical.
Like,
That'd
yeah,
be some right there.
people, like, I actually know what killed the Wii U more than, like... But there were a lot of factors, and part of it was they didn't give it no one gave it a fair chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on top of it, it was also they, like, didn't have the games they usually have. Like, they didn't have their big Paper Mario, which although I don't think that really helped the Wii that much. The Wii wasn't having problems beforehand anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But, like...
We did fairly well at
And what I don't
first.
like now is there's actually a petition, like, a few hundred people away from them actually sending it to Nintendo requesting to cancel the new Paper Mario. Just because it's following Sticker Star more. Like, Sticker Star was fun. It's not the same as the classic or 1,000 Year Door, but...
1,000 Year Door.
Like, that's unfair to Nintendo.
And
the arguments I've heard of it, like, oh, it took them, like, 20 seconds to... No. That's not... It doesn't work. And it's an entirely different engine. Like, you have to remake it. Even if it's the same, like, mechanics and stuff, you have to remake a game. Like, it's just... Now people are just being unfair to Nintendo for wanting to, you know, try something. They want to... Like, Sticker Star was, like... Frankly, they just don't want to... Like, Paper Mario, I will say this. It is way too close to their Mario and Luigi series. In mechanics and battle. Like, there's clear differences, yes, but that's still kind of the way it is. And they don't want to have two Mario RPGs that are fairly similar.
My God, Zerk. I'm sorry, I'm just focusing on
Well,
this
yeah,
a little bit,
anyways.
too.
We should probably talk. But, yeah.
We're only
It's just-
17 minutes in, and we're farther than we did in the half-an-hour version.
Yeah, but it really is... Are we gonna lose Zerk?
No. The boss has less chance of hitting than the guy who just died earlier.
That's kind of actually impressive.
That's
You know what? Just
disappointing.
get whatever levels you can to squeeze out of this, but kill the boss.
Yeah,
We don't want to risk anything.
it's a little risque. Drag some guy out.
But
there.
I mean, yeah. Things that killed the Wii U was they had a lack of launch titles that, like, got people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Smash had been a launch title like it had been on both the GameCube and Wii, the system would have sold a lot better.
You know what it is? They didn't have a good Fire Emblem game on the Wii U.
That is debatable into if it was a system sell. Like, here's the thing about Fire Emblem. It's... I don't know how to describe it, but it's, like, it's good games. There are definitely, like, popular stuff.
Oh, we got a Master
It's
Seal.
just, frankly, if you don't know about Fire Emblem, you're not gonna care. Like, you do, but you didn't before. Like, you...
Awakening has to be the one
Awakening
that
was the
started it.
one you got... Like, Awakening was the one you...
I started
Awakening was the one where you gave it a try, and then you fell in love with it.
I would have...
Before that, you didn't even really care about Fire Emblem.
I actually did. I told you, I remember this a while back when we were playing Brawl. I'm like, wow, what is Martha and Ike from? You're like, oh, it's just some game. And you're like, oh, I hear it's like chess or whatever. And I'm like, huh. And then I went and, like, I was like, well, I want to get it, but I didn't know where to get them. And I found out that they are games that sell out quickly because they don't make enough copies.
Yeah,
or something
that's
like
the
that.
thing. Like, they don't need to make the copies. That's the problem. Like, it's one of those things that's like a cult type game. Like, it's the kind of thing that everyone that plays it loves it, but
Not everyone
nobody
plays it.
who knows it nobody who knows it will bother getting it. Like,
Everyone who plays it loves it, but no one loves it unless they play it.
exactly. That's actually the way it is. Like, there are a lot of series like that. And unfortunately, Fire Emblem is one of those. So I don't think of Fire Emblem as a system seller. Even if they did put one on the Wii U, it's not really a system seller, in my opinion.
The boss is running.
Why is he so afraid of you?
Oh no, he's scary.
I like how you just kept everyone in a corner.
I mean, I'm just trying to blast through this level. I'm not trying
True.
to get
True.
all the weak guys to fight. That's what backup level, or backup experience is for.
Yeah, I guess that is true. But, yeah, like, the lack of launch titles killed it. the lack of, general common titles they had that would always boost sales killed it. Like, it didn't have a Legend of Zelda game. It won't until the NX comes out. Like, I'm at least glad they aren't throwing it to the NX, because that would mean the entire console didn't have a real Legend of Zelda game. Which
yeah, they had a lot of remakes.
Yeah, they do. Like, I mean, the eShop alone is a system seller, in my opinion, with how many games there are for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and good ones, too. Even the stuff that isn't indie are good games that they reported, or even some that they just made for it.
So we got a new Master Seal and Paragon skill, and we win.
Oh, look at that. Well, it doesn't really matter. Alright.
You disgust me.
Alright, let's...
You got a Paragon. Let's read this.
Story.
Dear boy, I'm sorry you had to suffer on our account. I wasn't scared. I knew the Dawn Brigade would save us. Thank you. Thank you for rescuing my people. Your people, so you must be... Yes, I am Lanvega's daughter, Fiona. After my dad died, some other words. General Lanvega. Dear goodness. I mean, there's actually... Lanvega. I know that there's actual meaning behind their names, but, like...
It doesn't feel like it with how it's thrown together.
Like, yeah. I realized later, like, how they got the name for Chrome.
How?
Chrome, without the E.
Really? Are you... Like, that's it? Like,
that is
it? Like,
there was no meaning else behind it.
The character that everyone... The Fire Emblem character that everyone fell in love with... That's his name origin?
The daddy. But Lucina is is like a war goddess.
Okay, then.
That was what was amazing.
But then there's names like Toronto.
Without the T. Without the extra T.
Yeah.
Fiona, that one's quite
That
common.
one's normal-ish. Like,
Bryce. I know a few Bryces. Not really, I know one.
I mean,
kind of.
Our artist is a Bryce.
I know 0.5 of a Bryce.
Yeah, you barely know him.
I know he exists. Gerard.
But yeah.
But then you got, like, Numida. And you're like, where does that name come from? But then you look at, like, Robin, who's used everywhere.
What I like is how they actually bothered to name half the characters in the game. Even the ones that are kind of nameless, they still have names.
Yeah.
Like, I would have settled for just Bandit, but no, they have names.
Oh, yeah. But
like, that's an extra step that was unnecessary.
And I like how, like, bosses have names. Every level has a boss.
Like, the boss
with
I
a
can
name.
understand. But, like, just the general soldiers also do have names
Sometimes.
Maybe not all the
Just
time,
cool.
but sometimes. Yeah.
That, like, stopped you in your tracks.
Yeah.
You're like, hold on, I gotta laugh.
But yeah.
Alright, yeah, at the end of this level,
So,
this was like...
Just save it. We'll get the story on the other side and then meet everybody back at the base.
Yay! Well, yeah, we can just do that. We can just save and have the story play out as we talk about how
that's what we're gonna do,
failure the Wii U was, but that's such a great console.
So it was a failure for such a good idea. Like, they did not make full use of it. That's the problem for it. Like, the few games that do make full use for it are not titles that I would consider, like, big titles. Like, here's the thing. Pikmin. Pikmin is one that is a great game series, but like Fire Emblem, you really kind of have to play it to care. Like, it's a good game. I would recommend it to anybody.
I've never played a Pikmin game.
You haven't, but we will at some point. Probably. But the problem with it is that it's one of those things that, like, yeah, everybody who's played it loves it, but no one who hasn't, like... There are a lot of games like that, and unfortunately a lot of them are, like, Nintendo stuff. Like, the only real titles that get people's attention when it shows up on a Nintendo system is a Paper Mario. At least people will look at the system for that. They may not buy it, because apparently no one's giving this one a chance. Mm-hmm. But anyways... Or Legend of Zelda. Like, Legend of Zelda is essentially the consensus of it is it's the one series that is worth going to even if you don't play, like, Nintendo games things, period. Like, it's the one series that I actually know of, like, hardcore gamers that don't touch anything Nintendo actually bothering to play.
Oh, this is why I hate this guy.
Which, yeah.
I'm sorry, I just realized that this is why I hate this guy. He's like, they're like, oh, shouldn't Prince Peleus be here? And he's like, nah, I will now command as Prince Peleus. And they're like, I don't think that's quite right. And he's like, oh well.
I'd stab the guy.
Same.
Like, we just have the consensus to stab the creepy old man claiming to be in charge because the guy who's supposed to be in charge isn't there.
Like, I guess what actually happened is that Izuka told Peleus to stay behind and be like, hey, let me take care of all this. You're a prince, you shouldn't be doing this. So.
I wonder if the mic can pick that sound up.
We'll have to find out.
Oh well, it doesn't matter. It's not that loud. But,
well, let's listen into your headphones.
It does, but it is so very faint that I don't think that people will hear it.
Alright.
But yeah.
I'm gonna skip this. I have more to complain about the NX, but you'll have to find out in the next episode. Yay!
Yeah.
More complaints. So.
My only complaint for the NX coming up is the fact
it's going to be told in the next episode.
Is because
it's going to be told because we need to end this episode now.
Alright, Storm05 and David T. Games signing off.
It's still